What's cracking, big dogs? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the HQ. This is our Patreon-only live stream every Saturday morning. We kick it live with all of my patrons, where you can sign up on patreon.com/BDGE. I'm hitting you with all your sit-start questions for the week, any trade questions, waiver wire questions you may have for humans. This is where we get it done. Again, you can sign up on patreon.com/BDGE, where you will get access to this live stream. You will get my weekly rankings. You will get the waiver wire exclusive article, and some other shit. So go check it out, patreon.com/BDGE. How's the connection right now? Are we working? Are we good? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? All right, we're going to start it off real quick, give some value to everybody out there watching. Obviously, if you're watching this afterwards, make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy the video. So I like to break down some of the wide receiver cornerback matchups when we start this off, and this is per Pro Football Focus. So these are some wide receivers we're expecting to get shadowed this week. We have John Brown versus Stephon Gilmore. Now, the Patriots are one of two teams that have used shadow coverage in all 3 weeks so far. They typically just run a man defense on the outside. They have their top cornerbacks line up with the top wide receivers. We've had Stephon Gilmore shadow the wide receiver one all 3 weeks. He is the 10th greatest. That's what this video is going to be like today, huh? 10th highest graded cornerback per PFF in coverage so far this year out of 100 qualified cornerbacks. He will be shadowing John Brown. Allen Robinson is expected to get shadowed by Xavier Rhodes, who is the 57th highest graded coverage cornerback. We have Deandre Hopkins, who is going to be shadowed by James Bradberry, expected to be shadowed by James Bradberry in Carolina. He is the 6th highest graded cornerback in coverage so far this year. Devontae Parker, Casey Heyward, 5th highest cornerback graded in coverage. And then we have Terry Maclaurin versus Genoa Jenkins. Now, few notes here. Now, PFF does not actually have them two shadowing or Terry Maclaurin getting shadowed by Genoa Jenkins in this week, which I'm not really sure why, because the Giants are the only other team besides the Patriots who have used shadow coverage by Genoa Jenkins in every single week. Maybe it's because PFF isn't actually sure who has came on as a wide receiver one here between Maclaurin and Paul Richardson in terms of other teams' game plans. I don't know why the fuck they would choose to cover Paul Richardson over Terry Maclaurin at this point, but they don't have them listed. Interesting to note that Genoa Jenkins is 98th among 100 qualified cornerbacks per PFF in terms of coverage grades. So Terry Maclaurin, as long as that hamstring is okay, obviously he's dealing with the hamstring injury that put him on the injury report earlier this week. But if he's ready, if he's fully healthy, which I don't know if he will be, but even at like 80%, he could beat Genoa Jenkins, and he should have a really big week. And then there are a bunch of cornerbacks that are questionable for week 4 right now. We have Casey Heyward, who I said was supposed to shadow Devontae Parker. We have Jalen Ramsey, who's dealing with a whole bunch of shit, which would obviously be an upgrade to Cortland Sutton and Emmanuel Sanders. I'm not really sure what the latest on him is. It was pretty much that he was doubtful to play, and now they're saying that he has rejoined the team and he's ready to go. So Jalen Ramsey, I don't know if he's going to shadow coverage anyone there. He's only done shadow coverage so far once this year, and it was on Deandre Hopkins in week 2. Shadowed him on 82% of his routes, allowed 4 catches on 7 targets for 27 yards. So obviously Jalen Ramsey, very good cornerback. Hasn't graded out that well, though. He's only the 64th highest graded cornerback in coverage per PFF, which sometimes I don't know what the fuck they're doing when they're grading this stuff. Darius Slay, also questionable. He shadowed Keenan Allen in week 2. That was the only shadow matchup he has been put on so far this year. Shadowed him on 87% of his routes, allowed 6 catches for 81 yards on 11 targets. So Keenan Allen's about to eat up fucking anyone who comes in his way. Shout out to Eddie Lacy. Dante Jackson. Now, he is the 21st graded cornerback so far this year in coverage. So he doesn't shadow. James Bradberry, as I said, might shadow DeAndre Hopkins, but Jackson is expected to cover Fuller. So if Bradberry shadows DeAndre Hopkins and Dante Jackson does not end up playing for the Panthers, that would be a big upgrade for Will Fuller. Maybe he'll finally have his breakout game for this year, which we've been waiting on for a long time. Not necessarily too high on Fuller just because we've seen zero consistency, but this would obviously be an upgrade. Same thing with Denzel Ward and Greedy Williams. As of Thursday, neither of them played. As of Friday, I don't think either of them practiced either. Either of them practiced at all. So for the Browns, both their top cornerbacks seem to be off the field and probably not playing this year, which can be a problem for their defense. Obviously, last week they let up 100 yards receiving to both Cooper Kupp and Brandon Cooks, so this would be a big hit to their defense. They play against the Ravens this week, so Hollywood Brown will be in probably every one of my DFS lineups. Now, I don't play DFS, but I talked about DFS with Joe Holka this morning on today's video. If you missed that, we went through the entire DFS DraftKings player pool, basically talked about our strategy, best picks for this week. Man, the chat is not working, y'all. I'm sorry. I realize I'm not seeing any of your bike. Y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Bark twice. Apologize for that fucked up situation. All right, so where was I? I'm just going to pick up real quick where I left off. So Dante Jackson, well, we have the Browns cornerbacks who are out. So Marquise Brown will be in one of my DFS lineups. And then lastly, we have Kareem Jackson, Denver Broncos, the highest graded slot cornerback in the NFL. He will be slated to take on D.D. Westbrook. Obviously, if he is out, then D.D. Westbrook gets a little bit of an increase. He's not someone I'm really looking to throw into my lineup anyways. It's a tough matchup on the road in Denver. So those are all the cornerbacks and wide receiver matchups I got for y'all today. Let's take some questions. Scary Terry likely out in a full PPR. Why is Scary Terry likely out? I feel like all the reports said that he's going to be playing. Standard 14-team league, Josh Allen at home versus Patriots defense, or Jameis Winston on the road against the Rams. Just for reference, y'all, almost all of these sit-start questions can be answered via my rankings that are posted on Patreon right now. I know a lot of you guys want, obviously, a little bit more in-depth answers, but if you're just going simple, if you just want a simple sit-start question answered, you could just head to my rankings. Josh Allen at home versus Patriots defense, or Jameis Winston on the road against the Rams defense. On the waiver wire, Keenum and Trubisky. So I'm actually going to go with Josh Allen there. I know the Patriots defense has been really, really tough, but I think he'll end up getting it done on the road. I mean, he's obviously going to have to score points, and I have zero faith in this Tampa Bay Bucs offense going against the Rams defense at home. This Rams defense has looked very, very good. Jameis Winston's probably going to turn the ball over like 72 times. Full PPR, I need an RB and a flex. Lindsey at Jacksonville, Mecole Hardman Detroit, Freeman Tennessee. Whoa, what the hell? Why did this all just... I was hoping you could play two flexes. I was going to say Mecole Hardman and Darrell Waller. I have no faith in Devonta Freeman. I will go with Philip Lindsay there, although I don't like either of them, obviously. I think Lindsay's like my RB 26 and Freeman maybe my RB 30 or something like that in the rankings. You'll have to go check that. But I'll go with Lindsay there. And then as a flex play, I just think, you know what you're talking about, Darrell Williams. Am I on crack today? Am I thinking of like all the wrong players? I'll actually go with Mecole Hardman there, AJ. Should I sit Diggs for Sutton full PPR? Depending on whether or not Jalen Ramsey plays, that will probably be a big part to this. Right now, if Jalen Ramsey plays, I'll probably go with Diggs, although I hate it. But if he doesn't play, then I'll almost definitely go with Sutton there, Jeremy. Full PPR, Robert Woods or Mecole Hardman. Man, I hate that it's come to this. It's a sick fucking fantasy world we live in. There's like a massive Hispanic parade going on outside my apartment today. It's about to get loud as fuck in here. Full PPR, Robert Woods or Mecole Hardman. I got to think that this is going to be the get-right game for Robert Woods, but yikes, man. Mecole has been ridiculous with Tyreek Hill out. That it's so close for me, John. I'm probably going to give Woods one more chance. I hate to say it, but I'm probably going to do that. I wouldn't hate you. I don't think it's that far-fetched to put Hardman there. So if you like Hardman there and you want to go for that big play, go for the ceiling, go for it. Do you think Terry McLaurin plays, or if he does, start Kirk in half PPR? So I think everything I've seen so far, all the reports say that Terry McLaurin should be playing. I think the matchup is just so good, it's hard to get away from him. But that being said, I absolutely love Christian Kirk this week. The pace of that game should be very fast-paced. Kirk is, fourth in the NFL in targets right now. I would actually probably play Kirk over McLaurin just because he might be, 80% of Terry McLaurin this week. Half PPR, Fournette or Mecole Hardman? That's a good question. I'm gonna roll with Hardman there. I don't know. I want nothing to do with Fournette. He's been so bad this year. And it's such a tough game in Mile High City. 12-team half PPR, Chris Carson, Christian Kirk, or Sterling Shepard. Wow, great fucking problem to have. If Rashad Penny plays, Christian Kirk. If Rashad Penny doesn't play, I'll probably lean towards Chris Carson, Mike. Full PPR, who do I start? Flex. Taron Johnson, Joe Mixon, Chris Godwin, or Engram. Wow, you need to fucking make some trades or something, Big Poppy. Man, I hate when people ask me these questions. They just have 10 amazing plays and they're all gonna do well. I mean, shit, I like Godwin a lot. If assuming that Aqib Talib is probably gonna smother Mike Evans, but I don't like that matchup on the road. I mean, it's almost impossible to sit Evan Engram at this point. I'd probably go with Evan Engram there in full PPR. Where did you get the Say Perhaps to Drugs shirt? I think Tasteless Gentleman. Google Tasteless Gentleman, and that's where I get a lot of these shirts from, the Trigger shirts. AJ, was Darrell Waller, not Darren Williams. Oh, well, you put versus Detroit. So how would I know that was Darren Waller? So I don't remember what the question was anymore, but got to give me them correct matchups. Have Adams and the injury scares me. Should I trade one of Mixon, Chubb, Engram, or Henry for another wide receiver one? Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to have 4 running back ones on your team. You're not even going to be able to play them probably. Keeper league, full point PPR. Other receivers are Lockett, A-Rob, and Dorsett. Could get Tyreek. I would probably lean towards not trading for Tyreek Hill. If you could flip Engram after one more good game for another wide receiver, I'd be fine with that. Engram is the same thing as Henry. He's just got better game scripts so far. Full PPR, Cup for Sterling Shepard. You can't sit Cup at this point, man. Do you believe Jonathan Hillman could be a thing over Gallman? No. Would it be crazy to start Darren Williams over Dalvin Cook this week? Yes. You just can't sit Cook. You can't do it. I don't care how dumb I might look if this backfires, but no. Stop it. Stop it, Adam. Half PPR, Mecole at Detroit, Darrell Williams at Detroit, or D-Mont versus Minnesota. I'll roll with Mecole there, Vetch. I think he's just due for a long touchdown every fucking game. They're playing in the dome. Pat Mahomes fucking dominates the dome. That's what my guy does. Why do you have Ridley ranked higher than Kirk? Because Ridley's a better fucking receiver than Kirk is. He's on a better offense with a better team. Plus, the injuries are starting on Atlanta, so it's going to – what happened last year is, like, going to start happening again this year. We're going to start giving up fucking 82 points a game. Not to Tennessee, but just in general. And our offense is going to pass the ball 47 times a game. What up, Tryon? I don't know what the fuck your name is. T. Ryan, probably. It's good, big dog. Wide receiver 2 and flex behind Lockett, Cooks, Hollywood, Shepard. Behind Lockett, Cooks, Hollywood, Shepard. I'm going to definitely roll with Hollywood. I think he has a monster game this week. I also don't know what your scoring settings are, so that could be a problem. I would go check the PPR rankings or standard, whatever. Just check the rankings on that one because I don't know what your scoring is, but I definitely like Hollywood a lot. Half PPR currently starting Eckler, but with Melvin potentially bike, should I play Galladay or Hollywood over him? No. Does Heyward take over running back in Philly? No one's taking over. They just are what they are. They both get carries. PPR Terry McSex. That's one of the better nicknames I've heard for Maclaurin or Tyler Boyd. I actually like Tyler Boyd. I think this is going to be a big game for him. I just traded him in the E-Town get down, but I'm going to feel really bad about it on Monday night when he catches 9 passes for 112 yards and a touchdown. So for this week, I'll go with Boyd. Pick 3 out of 4 for wide receivers. Flex standard team from Mikey. Edelman, Woods, Godwin, Boyd. Ooh. So we're sitting one of them. In standard, I'll most likely sit Boyd. He probably has the lowest touchdown likelihood, as well as just the worst offense. So I'll probably sit Boyd there, Mike. FPPR, I was offered Yahtzee. FPPR, sorry, I'll announce y'all names so you can kind of pay attention when I say it. FPPR was offered Damian Williams and Adam Thielen for Aaron Jones. Running backs, Chris Carson, Jones, Murray, and Sanders. Wide receivers, Jesus Christ. There's just too many names at once. Carson, Jones, Murray. Who's Murray? Tavius Murray, I'm assuming. And Sanders. Wide receivers are Juju, Adams. No, you definitely need more help at running back than you do at wide receiver. So I would stick with Aaron Jones there. Plus, Jamal Williams is probably going to miss some time, and the schedule gets a lot easier within the coming weeks for Jones. Do you think Tariq Cohen is having a slow start into the season? I'm going to say yes, but that's not really my opinion. Even it's actually a fact. But I think this week will be interesting for Tariq Cohen because Taylor Gabriel is going to be out probably. So we'll probably see a lot more Tariq Cohen from the slot and stuff. Let's get this bread. Yes, Eric, let's get this motherfucking bread. Roster question for you. Bro, the router fucked up prior to this. I had to restart the stream. We went double streams today. Roster question for you. Josh Allen, Danny Dimes, Miles Sanders, Harden, and Gallup. Wait, what? What is the question? Oh, Josh Allen or Danny Dimes? Oh, you're asking who should you drop? Well, I'm always okay dropping quarterback. Both of those guys are good streamers at quarterback, but I'm fine dropping either of them for Darrell Williams. I mean, I would likely play Daniel Jones over Josh Allen this week. So if I was going to drop one, it'd be Josh Allen. But then again, you're not even going to be able to use Darrell Williams on your starting lineup this week because you have Chubb, Jones, and Eckler going. We have to see. We don't really know much about Damian Williams, which makes it tricky. I would probably drop a quarterback for him, to be honest. I'd probably drop Josh Allen. Wide receiver 2, half PPR, McLaurin or Landry. Definitely going to go with McLaurin there. I trade Dalvin Cook for David Johnson and Travis Kelce, half PPR. Tired of streaming today, so I trade Dalvin Cook for David Johnson and Travis. Yeah, that's a great trade actually for you. You're getting 2 fucking studs at their position. I know Dalvin Cook's been unbelievable, but you're getting an RB1 in return, plus your elite tight end. So yeah, Christopher Godoy, my mans, I would make that Kelce move. Trying to make trades, but everyone in my league is stingy. Yeah, that tends to happen. That's like That's like an E-Town Get Down league as well. I always try to make trades, and like literally no one ever wants to make trades. But there's one guy, the one that I just made the trade with like this week, who I've made a trade with pretty much every season for the past like 3 years. So, I mean, my advice is like, I don't know. Sometimes you just have to sit on it and play the waiver wire, or find one or two guys that are actually willing to trade. Open up a dialogue, see what they want. Be a cunt. What up, Yannick? What's up, big dog? What up, Chris? I only have one question for my team. With Adams out, is MVS a must-start every week? I can't answer that right now. It's very week to week. I'd have to look at matchups every week. I'd have to look at a bunch of other things. So, I mean, he obviously gets a big boost with Adams out, assuming he's going to be out for some time. He'll be the full-time player, which he basically already is, but he'll get a lot of targets. So he definitely, gets up there in the wide receiver 2 conversation. PPR, Flex Montgomery, Samuel, or Demarcus Robinson, and if Maclaurin sits, which wide receiver? So I would actually go David Montgomery there. I think we've seen him kind of take over this entire backfield. And again, with Taylor Gabriel out, maybe they go a little bit more run heavy, or maybe they use Montgomery more in the slot, something like that. So I'd go with Montgomery, and then if Maclaurin sits, which wide receiver? Probably Curtis Samuel. We actually see like a decent amount of chemistry right now between Kyle Allen and Curtis Samuel, although I think this is going to be a big week for DJ Moore. So I'm sneakily throwing DJ Moore in a couple of my DFS lineups. I'm going to play a little DFS this week, so if you're not following me on Twitter, make sure you do that, and I'm going to tweet out my lineups like 10 minutes or so before the week kicks off. Should be good times. There's a lot of money. Look forward to it. Should I keep Latavius Murray, pick up or Howard? I would pick up Penny for Latavius. He doesn't need to be rostered. Oh, my God. Calvin asks, trade Carry-On and DJ Moore for Mike Evans full PPR. Was it a good move? Other wide receivers, Lockett, Watkins, Fuller. Personally, I would not have done it, but I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it was necessarily a win. You do have some nice wide receivers, but you can never have enough. I know you've got Jameis over Dalton in the rankings, but against that Rams defense, I roll with Dalton against that Steelers secondary. I mean, if you saw my rankings, that kind of says it for you, my guy. Happy Gar, Scary Terry not playing this week. Will Paul Richardson, plus the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers looked great last week with Minka. They forced like 5 turnovers, I believe. And this Bengals offensive line is still fucking very banged up. Half PPR, Scary Terry not playing this week. Will Paul Richardson will have a ton of targets. DJ Moore, Samuels. I'm worried that DJ only had 2 targets last game. We're going DJ Moore over Samuels. Paul Richardson becomes an interesting play. I don't think he's like a lock, just because he's not that type of player that deserves to be a fucking lock regardless of the situation. I think McLaurin ends up playing, so we'll have to kind of just wait on that. But yeah, I think Richardson becomes an interesting flex play if McLaurin misses time. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button, y'all. If you're joining us from YouTube, obviously you can join this live stream on patreon.com/BDGE, where you'll get the weekly rankings, the live stream, the waiver wire article, and access to the forum and the community, whatever, where you can ask us questions throughout the week. So make sure you hit that thumbs up if you enjoy the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're shooting out fantasy goodness 6 days a week, baby. David Montgomery or Chris Thompson, half PPR. Super close. What are they? I have to check my rank. Let me look at my rankings real quick. Forgot to pull them up beforehand. How y'all doing, by the way? Anyone got anything good going on this weekend? You guys know you can get all of your answers just through my rankings, right? So I actually have Chris Thompson at running back 23 this week and David Montgomery at running back 27. So the big facts say Chris Thompson, which I'd probably agree with there. I like how I said I'd probably agree with my fucking rankings. Obviously, I fucking made them. Yeah, Chris Thompson has just been so damn involved. I think this is going to be – it's actually one of the higher over-unders of the entire week. So I think there's just going to be a lot of passing. I doubt either teams are going to be able to really establish the run. So a lot of pass attempts, probably a lot of scoring just because both defenses are shit. So I kind of like Chris Thompson. Plus, he's due for a touchdown. I feel like he hasn't scored a touchdown yet this year. Jesus Christ. So many questions. Kerryon Johnson plus Godwin / Lockett for Mixon Cup half PPR. Would you rather do that? If you do you prefer Lockett or Godwin? It's a very lateral move. I feel like there's no reason to actually make that move, to be honest. Like, I don't know. Like, what is your thinking behind that move? I think at this point, I'd rather have Kerryon Johnson over Joe Mixon, probably. It's very close. And then my favorite receiver there is probably Lockett. I guess if I were to give one away, it would be Godwin over Lockett. And I guess Godwin to Cup would be a little bit of an upgrade. I think it's it's about even at the running backs and maybe a little bit of an upgrade at wide receiver. So unless you have a very strong feeling one way or another, I mean, it's a fair trade lateral move. I don't see it as a big win. Sean, is Freeman due for better production, or is that O-line going to disrupt things all year? I mean, it's not really the O-line. He's just really not that good. He's not being used in the passing game. He's not being used on the goal line. Like, it's just Dirk Cutter just doesn't – I mean, we talked about this all summer. Dirk Cutter, just his running back production is just never there. They don't throw to the running backs. They don't have success running the ball. So I don't think Freeman is due for better production now. Am I crazy to sit Diggs for Paul Richardson? No, you're not, assuming Maclaurin doesn't play. But if Maclaurin plays, then yeah, I probably I listen. I mean, you're not crazy, but I guess it's really not that risky because Diggs' floor is going to be so low against Chicago. Personally, I wouldn't do it unless Terry's sitting, but I guess you're not too crazy, Luke. I'd probably play Diggs though. I need 2 wide receivers, full PPR. Thielen, Sammy, Lockett, Boyd. Ooh, good problem to have. I'll go back to the well with Sammy. Darius Slay is actually questionable for this game, so he might not play. And I'm definitely playing Lockett. Lockett's a must start this week. Hollywood, McLaurin, or Boyd, full PPR. Let's roll fucking Hollywood, baby. Let's roll Hollywood. He's due. He's getting so many fucking targets, a lot of deep targets, and Cleveland's probably going to be without Greedy Williams and Denzel Ward again. So they let up 100 yards receiving to both Kupp and Brandon Cooks last week. I think Hollywood's in for a monster game. Which matchup is better, Evans with Talib or Watkins with Slay? I mean, I don't really think Darius Slay is going to shadow Watkins. Plus, he's banged up. He might not play. So let me see if we got any updates on Darius Slay. They're questionable. They're all questionable. No one's got like any real updates, unfortunately. He's been limited in practice. Who knows? Keep a very close eye on Darius Slay. Obviously an upgrade for the Kansas City passing game, if it's even possible to fucking upgrade them anymore. Lord. Might have tickets for the boys here in Seattle if y'all want to come through. Fuck yeah, bro. That could be our next destination. We're going to Pittsburgh in December. Someone gave us tickets to the Pittsburgh-Cleveland game, which looked like a much funner experience in the summer. Now we're looking at Mason Rudolph versus the fucking ghost of Baker Mayfield, but it'll still be fun. Full PPR. Do I go with Curtis Samuel at Houston against secondary who got lit up against Keenan Allen last week, or Ridley against Tennessee in a bounce back? I'm not getting cute there. I'm going with Ridley. I mean, the guy had 2 great games and 1 bad game. I feel like I don't understand why everyone's so down on Ridley after 1 bad game. 2 flex spots, PPR, Brandon Cooks, Edelman, and McLaurin. I'll probably roll with Cooks and Edelman, just because McLaurin's less than 100%. Was Gucci. What up, Charles? I have been a fan from the beginning of last year. Love the content. Love you for that. Half-point PPR. Mecole Hardman, Chris Godwin, Calvin Ridley this week, wide receiver 1 and 2. I'm going to roll with Godwin here as one of those wide receivers. I mean, if it's my team, to be honest, I'm probably rolling Godwin and Ridley. Probably rolling Godwin and Ridley here. Detroit defense has been low-key, like, pretty damn good. I don't think they're going to be able to stop the Chiefs, but, like, I don't know. I'd much rather bank on Godwin and Ridley, who will probably see, 7 to 10 targets each. RB2, half PPR, Chris Thompson, Tariq Cohen, or Peyton Barber. Justin, I'm definitely rolling with Chris Thompson there. He's just been so involved in the Redskins passing game. And if Terry McLaurin doesn't end up playing, then fuck yeah, it's going to be a massive game for Thompson. Can you rank Lockett, Kupp, Godwin for the rest of the season? That would probably be my order right there, Cammy. Lockett, Kupp, Godwin. But Lockett and Kupp are like, they're probably interchangeable for me. I don't see one of them ahead. Like, I have Lockett ahead personally just because I really like Lockett and his involvement in the passing game. I feel like every single week from here on out, he's just going to get 10 targets regardless. Whereas Kupp might have a couple down weeks just based on the fact that, they still have Woods, Gurley, Cooks in that offense. But, I mean, obviously Kupp's been fucking dominant, and that goes back to even last year before he got hurt. So it's like, I think Lockett and Kupp are right next to each other for me, and then Godwin is a third. Who should I trade out of my current lineup? 12-team, half PPR. Brady, Kyle Allen, Cook, Bell, Cooper, Juju, Olsen, Montgomery. Whoa. Who should I trade out of my current lineup? 12-team, half PPR. I mean, that's a very general question. I'm not really sure how to answer that. Like, trade Kyle Allen, I guess? I don't know. Like, there's no one on that list I'm actively looking to trade. If there was one, it would be Juju, coming off of his like big game last week. He's got another good matchup against Cincy. So if he puts up points this week, I'd probably be looking to move him just because he's playing with Mason Rudolph. And Rudolph did not look good. At best, Rudolph is like an average starting quarterback at very best. And it's obviously going to kill Juju's upside that we thought he had. So it hurts. It hurts bad. You're welcome, Codeine. Is Will Dissly a thing now? I get like you can't ignore it at this point, right? And plus he's going against Arizona, who's let up about 82 points a game to tight end. So yeah, I think Will Dissly is a thing for the time being. Unfortunately, I say that unfortunately, I literally have any fucking stake in that. 10-team full PPR, already starting C-Mac at the RB1. So should I start Fournette or Jacobs with the RB2 and either Galladay or Chris Thompson for the flex spot? Could also start Chris Thompson at RB2. So it's a full PPR. I actually low-key really like Josh Jacobs to bounce back. I think people are so far off of him. This might be more of a DFS thing just because it's full PPR and I kind of want to get Chris Thompson in my lineup. I don't know if I want to tell you to sit Jacobs because they're probably going to be without Darius Leonard again and possibly their top cover corner. So I think Oakland has a sneaky shot of actually – I think they're going to cover the spread. I believe it was 6.5. It was 7 that moved down to 6.5, and I think it might be at 6 now. I kind of like Oakland to maybe go into Indy and steal this game. Low key. Throw some mortgage on that. I kind of like Jacobs. I like Chris Thompson. I think you have to get Galladay in there at the flex for sure. Great matchup against KC. In terms of running back 2, let's roll with Chris Thompson there, Mike. Fuck it. Thoughts on Aaron Jones rest of season after Jamal injury? I own him in 4 or 5 leagues. Should I trade a couple shares? Yeah, I'm always okay diversifying the revenue. I think he's a very interesting case right now. Like he's looked really bad in most of the games, or the running attackers looked really bad in most of the games. However, like the next 6 or 7, maybe even 8 weeks are against opponents that let up a lot of points to fantasy running backs. And obviously, if Jamal Williams misses time, Aaron Jones, his ceiling and his floor gets a little bit of a boost, which is really good. That being said, though, you could see how badly they want to keep this as a running back by committee. And just how fucking bad of a coach and play caller Matt LaFleur is. So, I would be fine trading, 2 of those shares if I were you, Ash. Plus, he's got a really tough playoff matchup. I believe it's like Chicago, Minnesota, weeks 15, 16. Always diversify that revenue, baby. TSS, got to drop 1 bench wide receiver PPR to make room for a backup quarterback. Who is best to drop? Curtis Samuels, Fuller, Valdez-Scantling. Why do you have to make room for a backup quarterback if it's a 1-quarterback league? That being said, though, if I'm dropping 1, it's Will Fuller at this point. And don't be mad at me when Will Fuller has a big game. I still think he's the one to drop this week. Hollywood, Cooks, Galladay, which 2 should I roll with? Jason, I like Hollywood and Galladay here. Kyler Murray or Josh for the rest of the season. Thanks for your help. You can give me Kyler there, baby. Thanks, big dog. You got it, Robert. Larry Legend, need 1 wide receiver and 1 flex. Watkins at Detroit, Ridley versus Tennessee, DeMont versus Minnesota, half PPR. So I'm going to go ahead and sit David Montgomery. Just a very tough matchup. And I like both wide receivers. I basically said it every fucking week. I'm like, this is the Sammy Watkins bounce back week. But guess what? This is actually the Sammy Watkins bounce back week. You fucking heard it here. Not first, probably 30th. There's probably 18,000 people trying to get on that bandwagon. That's going to end up fucking crashing and burning. Should Devon Singletary be started versus New England Sunday as a back and flex play? No. They're probably going to limit his play and his touches and everything in between. Thanks, man. Just want to double check today with both of them having the question marks this week. I know that is what you had on the rankings. No problem, Charles. Is it crazy to start Daniel Jones versus New York Giants over Matt Ryan versus Tennessee this week? I wouldn't say it's crazy. I wouldn't personally do it, though. Passing offense for Matt Ryan is just going to be they're just going to get too much volume. So, like I said, the defense is starting to get hurt already. We just lost Count O'Neal for the season. So they're going to end up throwing the ball a lot. It's probably going to be a repeat of what we saw last year. So I still like Matt Ryan. Plus, he plays way better at home, of course. So I'll still go with Matt Ryan. But no, I don't think it's crazy if that's what you wanted to do. I think they're probably very close in my rankings. I'll probably have Matt Ryan a few spots ahead, but I don't think it's that far off. I have Ryan as QB8 and Jones QB12. So both are quarterback 1s in my eyes. All right, I'm going to take the last few questions that we have here. Last one from Cammie about Miles Sanders. After that, we're going to bounce from here. Again, you could always join us here on patreon.com/BDGE. And if you guys have any more sit starts, remember, just go check the rankings on the Patreon, which are posted every Thursday before Thursday Night Football kicks off. So need 1 wide receiver, 2 flex, half PPR. Thielen, Kerryon, Watkins, Lockett. So I'm going to play Watkins, Lockett, and Kerryon. Hate the matchup with Thielen. Hate the fact that they're just not throwing the ball. I know he's getting it done, but he's not. He's barely getting it done. Like, he didn't even look good last week. He just hit a rushing touchdown, which was obviously very lucky, and we can't expect that to happen again. So this is just a team you don't want to throw the ball on, and they don't want to throw the ball. So it's like a 38-point over-under, I believe. It's going to be one of the worst fucking games ever to watch. So I'll go with the last 3, Seth. Cami Tong, last question, says, how do you see Miles Sanders after seeing Thursday's game? I mean, he obviously looks better than Jordan Howard, but he's also had these fumbling issues, and Jordan Howard's been fine. They're opening up a lot of holes, and Jordan Howard is long. I mean, he's even catching the ball now. They're running fucking wheel routes for him and shit. So either way you look at it, for right now, I still think we have to temper expectations. I actually just got rid of Miles Sanders, thankfully, in one of my leagues. I just traded him and Tyler Boyd for Ertz, Robbie Anderson, and Malcolm Brown. I need a tight end bad, but so Miles Sanders, he's obviously just not there yet. They're going to keep using this committee, but it's good to see that Darren Sproles keeps coming off the field a little bit more and more and more each week. So it's really going to like a 50-50 time split between Howard and Miles Sanders. Sanders is still being involved inside the red zone and the 10-yard line, but it's like more of like a 2-3 split towards Howard, getting the goal line carries and getting more of the work down there, which is obviously a concern. I didn't think we really were ever going to see Miles Sanders as the clear goal line back, but like he's not getting as much work as we would have liked 4 weeks into the season. So it might be more like a 6 to 8 week thing that we need to hold on to for Sanders, because he's clearly the most talented back there. So that is all the time we have today for y'all. Again, if you have any more sit start questions, make sure you just go check the weekly rankings on Patreon. If you are not a Patreon already, you can go sign up on patreon.com/BDGE, where you will get access to the private live streams. You will get weekly rankings. You will get Waiver Wire, the exclusive Waiver Wire article that I don't put elsewhere, and you will get access to the community and the forum. I'm out. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Good luck in week 4. Love y'all. Have a good weekend.